guys, it's Joe. Welcome back to the channel. Today's card is going to feature the new Give Thanks sentiment die with shadow, and this is one of the new releases. The embossed edge rectangle, the acetate sheets, and the Happy Fall Y'all stamp set, and lastly friendship greeting stamp set. So now I'm taking the embossed edge rectangle die, the largest rectangle, and I'm taking some cream cardstock, and as you can see it gives that nice embossed trim around the edges. And I'm taking the Happy Fall Y'all stamp set. I choose 2 leaf images, and I'm just using Versamark embossing ink pad, and I'm going to just randomly stamp the leaf images around the uh, rectangle, and then I'm using some gold embossing powder, and then I heat set it with the heat gun. I skipped pretty much the whole process there. I did mess up a few times, so I had to redo it, but that's what it looks like. And I left the middle blank just because I was going to cut it out anyways. So I'm taking the shadow portion of the Give Thanks sentiment die, and I'm trying to set it on the card to see how I want it to get it cut, and that's how I want it, and it's nice and even. So then I take just some post-it tape here, and then I go ahead and run it through my cutting machine. So using that shadow die, it cuts out my window for the shaker portion of the card, and then I just double checked to see how the Give Thanks sentiment will fit in the center. Now I'm taking the A2 Acetate Sheets from Cat Scrappiness, and then I'm just going to trim it to size to cover up that window there, and then I'll just go ahead and adhere it to the card. Then I'm going to take the Give Thanks sentiment die, and I used some gold mirrored cardstock, and then I just cut it out, and that's how I'm going to lay the sentiment onto the acetate sheet. You'll notice that I am missing the little dot for the I on the give word, and I dropped it on the floor, and I looked and looked and I couldn't find it, so later on I just end up cutting up another dot so that it's complete. So that's what it looks like. Then next I'm going to color the base of the card using Distress inks and oxide inks. So of course my favorite to go to orange is Spice Marmalade, and that's in the Distress ink. And then for the oxide ink I'm using Fossilized Amber, and these two, even though it's a Distress ink and an oxide, they do blend very well because the oxide helps the blendability with the regular Distress ink. So here I'm just going back and forth with the two colors. I do put the front of the card on top of it, and I realize it's a little bit too yellow, so I go ahead and just add more orange to the color there. So before I attach the front of the card to the base, I decide to go ahead and stamp my sentiment inside the card, and I'm using the Friendship Greetings from Cat Scrappiness stamp set, and I picked 2 sentiments here. You mean so much to me, my dear friend, and then also I take one of the smaller floral arrangement images, and I go ahead and place it under the sentiment, and I just go ahead and adjust it to make sure it's nice and straight, and I use VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and that's what it looks like. Then next I go ahead and adhere the front of the card to the base, and as usual here's my foam tape adhesive, and I go ahead and just make a square around the window, and then here's my little tip. I use a little rolled up piece of washi tape to close the card temporarily, and I go ahead and dump my sequin mix inside the center, and then I go ahead and lay the top of the card to the base, and then that completes my Give Thanks card here. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that is the new release, the Give Thanks sentiment die with shadow, and also the embossed edge dies, and this one is the rectangle. Also, just to let you guys know, it is World Card Making Day, October 5th, and Cat Scrappiness is having a 20% off discount site-wide with the coupon code WCMD2019. So it ends October 6th. So if you guys want to pick up any of these items or any of the items in her online store, please go ahead and check it out. I'll leave all the links in the description box below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.